That would be like me being on Joe Rogan. Joe don't want me on there. I need to be on Shannon. Joe got 6 comedians that never been funny. He want to push out.
And they're not captured. They're not captured by the ether of Hollywood. They haven't been sucked into the vortex of ideological thinking and just that weirdness.
Coming from Jay Z, like Jay Z was trying to basically, it may sound outrageous, but he felt like Jay Z wanted to get him killed for whatever reason.
Joe Rogan and Katt Williams just sparked a whole new blaze in Hollywood. And guess what? This time, they're going straight for Jay Z and Beyoncé. They're saying the power couple ain't just running the industry, it's like they're controlling every single move to keep their throne safe.
I just felt like, dang, I really did come up on Beyonce, and I really did, look at her for inspiration, and I was just like, that song and what I said just went way too far.
From shutting down voices to blackballing entire careers and even sacrificing people close to them. The claims are straight up insane. More and more celebs are coming forward, and their stories are all starting to match up. Now, we're about to break down 8 celebrities Jay Z and Beyoncé allegedly used, silenced, or sacrificed to protect their empire.
Going to come out, Sean will talk. That's why Jay Z is running. That's why Jay Z is nervous. Jaguar is talking about it. So many other artists at the moment.
Sources say the names on this list include some top-tier A-listers with squeaky clean reputations, but those cracks are starting to show big time. And with Rogan hinting that Hollywood's elites are deep in shady deals, it's no wonder folks are selling off properties and fleeing the country before the heat really turns up. And don't sleep on Katt Williams either. He's never been scared to call out Hollywood's darkest secrets.
Wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her.
He's saying, this ain't just some random list. It's proof of a twisted pattern of power plays, cover-ups, and shutting people down to keep the money flowing and the secrets buried. He's not just dropping names. He's exposing exactly how this dirty game gets played behind those closed doors. It all popped off again because of Diddy's list. Yup, that list that exposed rappers and public figures who were allegedly right there when Diddy was out committing crimes.
He felt like Jay Z was kind of insecure because R. Kelly at the time was technically bigger than him.
Rumors say this list is a bombshell, with receipts linking Hollywood's biggest names, like Jay Z and Beyoncé, to scandals that make headlines look soft. We're talking dirt that could wreck careers, wipe out legacies, and honestly, might even land some of them behind bars. In a wild twist, Joe Rogan just dropped a video hinting at a rumored romantic vibe between Diddy and Jay Z. This has fans going crazy, questioning Jay Z's loyalty to Beyoncé. But you know how they move. Cool and diplomatic no matter what's buzzing.
Out of breaking news, disgraced R&B singer R. Kelly was in the hospital after his lawyers say he overdosed on medication given to him by prison staff.
Back in the day, Dame Dash wasn't just Jay Z's business partner. He was like blood. Together, they built Rockefeller from scratch into a full empire. But when Jay's fame skyrocketed, Dame got kicked out. Not just from the label, but from the whole inner circle. Insiders say Jay used his rising power to ice Dame out of major deals, like Def Jam negotiations and brand partnerships between 2002 and 2004. Damon Dash was still out here making boss moves though, launching companies, signing new artists, and living that top mogul life. He had a whole army of mega talents like Kanye West, Cameron, and Beanie Siegel. Rockefeller even survived 9/11, which was the same day Jay dropped The Blueprint. Jay-Z had been arrested on charges before, and Dash lost his girlfriend Aaliyah in a tragic crash. But still, Rocawear blew up, expanding into 5 clothing and shoe lines, raking in $350 to $450 million every year. Damon was producing movies too, like Kevin Bacon's critically acclaimed The Woodsman. He was living straight luxury, with butlers, private chefs, bodyguards, a Beverly Hills mansion, a Tribeca loft, a $35,000 a month London apartment, and even a $400,000 Maybach. Dude was wild for only wearing his clothes once before tossing them out. But things were falling apart with the one person that mattered most, Jay Z. Jay was fed up with Damon's growing ego and wild paranoia. Employees at Rockefeller, Def Jam, and Rockaware were terrified of Damon's nonstop temper tantrums over tiny stuff. He fired dozens of talented execs and burned bridges everywhere. Damon started resenting Jay for drifting away and getting close to Def Jam's boss, Liar Cohen. By 2002 to 2004, rumors were everywhere saying Jay and Dame weren't even speaking. Things exploded when Jay and Kareem Burke refused to let Dame drop $3 million on a single print ad for Armadale Vodka, featuring Kevin Bacon and Naomi Campbell. After that, Jay and Dame were basically done. Dame was iced out of high-profile meetings at Def Jam for his own artists. The writing was on the wall. On December 24, 2004, Jay asked Dame to meet at an Italian spot in Manhattan called Dos Silvano. Before that dinner, the three Rockefeller founders had agreed to sell their label to Def Jam for $10 million. But Dash got blindsided. Each would get $3 million. But only Jay was getting promoted to president of Def Jam. And it got worse. Jay refused to let Dame keep the Rockefeller name. The final blow? All Rockefeller artists got to choose. Stay with Jay at Def Jam or roll with Dame's new label. Almost everyone, including Kanye West, stayed with Jay. The few who left with Dame flopped hard on the charts, and his new label crumbled fast. They were still linked through Rockaware though, each owning 25%. But after the Kevin Bacon, Naomi Campbell mess, Dame got called to a meeting at a fancy New York hotel room. When he walked in, he asked why they weren't meeting at the Rockaware offices. And that's when everything changed. When Damon walked into that hotel room, the partners hit him with a cold line. So no one will hear you scream. By the end of that meeting, Dash was booted out with a $22 million buyout. But guess what? Reports say he only got $7 million in actual cash. Between 2004 and 2009, Damon tried to bounce back, launching one venture after another, but everything flopped. His new record label, Rock La Familia, gone. His clothing line, the Damon collection, dead in the water. Then his wife divorced him, and he got slapped with a $15 million lawsuit. By April 2009, the same man who once had a $50 million net worth was flat broke. In court, he told the judge he owed $2 million in back taxes and was facing foreclosure on 2 NYC apartments. It got uglier. Multiple NYC law firms and creditors sued him for unpaid bills. His Chevy Tahoe got repossessed because he couldn't keep up with the $700 monthly payments. He even lost his $9 million Tribeca home, which sold in foreclosure for just $5.5 million. While Dame's empire crumbled, Jay Z kept rising like nothing happened. Jay sold Rockaware to Iconic's brand group for a massive $219 million. He dropped millions more albums under Def Jam, and in 2008 signed a crazy $150 million deal with Live Nation. Now, Jay Z is married to Beyonce, sitting on a personal net worth of $475 million. Damon Dash? He's still out here hustling, trying to claw his way back to the top, but only time will tell if he ever sees those heights again. But hold up, here's where things get messy. Jay Z and R. Kelly used to be tight enough to tour together until it all fell apart. After the infamous Best of Both Worlds fallout, and when those dark allegations against Kelly resurfaced, Jay cut him off completely.
Life sentence for R. Kelly.
This man is a prolific serial who utilized his status as a Grammy award-winning household name to inflict pain and anguish on so many victims.
Jay suddenly switched lanes and took the moral high ground, even dropping the Say Her Name remix to show where he stood. Meanwhile, R. Kelly kept making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But what if R. Kelly ain't the only one hiding skeletons? Insiders are claiming that Kelly might have just been the fall guy for an industry way dirtier than anyone ever imagined. And now that he's locked up, sick and vulnerable, people are saying he's being silenced because he knows way too much.
Yes, we raised this issue pre-trial, and it was denied. The government's position is that They admit that they applied a statute of limitations.
Some even claim Jay Z put a price on his head. And just when you thought this mess couldn't get darker, R. Kelly collapsed in his prison cell. His legal team is screaming it wasn't no accident. According to his attorney, Bobby Brinley, the 58-year-old singer was found unresponsive after getting pumped with a crazy high dose of medication while in solitary at a North Carolina federal facility. They threw him in isolation, and within 48 hours, prison officials allegedly hit him with a dangerously high dose of meds. On Thursday, June 12th, Kelly started showing overdose symptoms, dizziness, blurred vision, and then he just collapsed. He was rushed to Duke University Hospital, and doctors said the dose he got could have straight up ended his life. Brinley ain't holding back. He claims this wasn't no mistake or clerical error. In his words, they gave him an amount of medicine that could kill him. Now here's what's got conspiracy boards blowing up. Just 2 days before that overdose, Kelly's legal team filed an emergency motion saying his life was in danger. Coincidence or retaliation? Some people are whispering that Jay Z played a role in getting R. Kelly locked up. They're saying Jay didn't just back that explosive documentary that wrecked Kelly in court. He might have been chatting with the feds behind closed doors too. Is that for real? And if it is, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Here's what's happening. R. Kelly is asking the Supreme Court to toss out his convictions for CP and S with young people, arguing those alleged crimes happened way too long ago and should be barred by the statute of limitations. His lawyer, Bon John, is saying since Kelly's actions went down in the 90s and the PROTECT Act only dropped in 2003, it shouldn't even apply to him. The act lets them have an indefinite statute of limitations after 2003, but it don't say nothing about crimes before that being included. If this legal appeal gets a real hearing, Jay Z could be in deep trouble too, especially if his past is as messy as Kelly's. Insiders claim Jay knew about Kelly's dark behavior for years, but only cut him off when it made him look good. Even worse, they say Jay helped blacklist Kelly across the entire industry to keep his own image clean, letting Kelly burn to protect the Carter empire. And it don't stop there. Tinashe was on the brink of pop superstardom. Unique sound, killer vocals, huge fan base. Then she went silent. Word is Beyonce's camp saw her as a threat to the throne.
What's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you again.
You too. She's just looking fat.
Rumors say Tinashe refused to play the backup girl role, and that didn't sit right with Queen Bey's team.
Name I won't name. It's up.
No, you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying?
Sources claim Jay Z used his power over radio execs and streaming platforms to bury her music, block her promo, and keep her off major stages. The message was loud and clear. You don't challenge the queen and expect to survive. Her debut single, 2 On, was a smash hit, but they made sure her rise stopped right there. Everyone thought Tinashe was about to be the next big R&B pop star, but it never happened. She started speaking out, saying she felt controlled, suffocated, and completely left out of major decisions in her own career. She even hinted that there were powerful people working behind the scenes who didn't want her to win, even with major cosigns like touring with Katy Perry and Nicki Minaj, collabing with Britney Spears, and being handpicked by Janet Jackson to perform at her 2015 BET Awards tribute. She still felt blocked out. She said male artists never really support female artists without strings attached. In her words, male artists don't really co-sign female artists like that. And if they do, it's always like, are they fucking? It's never, oh, I really like her music. She also called out the toxic mindset pushed by fan bases that only a couple black female artists can shine at once. She shared, recently my cousin was with a friend of a friend who was in high school and she was like, I'm a fan of Kalani, but in a way that was like, so I can't be a fan of Tinashe too. Then my friend posed the question, why not be a fan of both? It's kind of like sports. People feel like they have to pick a side. Tinashe even snapped for a moment saying, there are hundreds of male rappers that all look the same, sound the same, But if you're a black woman, you're either Beyoncé or Rihanna. It's very, very strange. And even though Tinashe never directly named names, people started connecting dots when her momentum suddenly stalled right after she began speaking out. Nicki Minaj is a powerhouse too, dominating charts left and right. But fans noticed she never really had a strong team up with Beyoncé outside of Feeling Myself. People whispered that Bey's camp allegedly blackballed Nicki behind the scenes. After Beyoncé posted 2 new Sir Davis promo gallery posts on Instagram, Nicki went to X and wrote, "Robot on timing." The post got deleted fast. But knowing Nicki's cryptic shade, fans thought it was aimed right at Beyoncé. Nicki has also called out Jay Z openly. When Kendrick Lamar got announced as the Apple Music Super Bowl 2025 halftime show headliner in New Orleans, hip-hop heads went off online. Many, including Nicki, believed the spot should have gone to hometown hero Lil Wayne. Nicki aired out her deep issues with the show's top-level programmer and his associates, including Steve Stout. Users believe Nicki has now fully turned her attention to Jay Z and Beyoncé, constantly criticizing Jay Z on social media these past weeks. One user even commented, "I still can't figure out how you maintain a genuine friendship with somebody who very openly hates your spouse." Another wrote, "When you speak on somebody's husband, it's up. I hope you know his wife will never deal with you again. I know I wouldn't, and I would tell you to take that up with me since you female as well." Some believe Beyoncé didn't want Nicki's influence overshadowing hers, especially with Nicki's loyal fan base and bold energy. Rumors say collabs got blocked, events were skipped, and PR teams were told to downplay Nicki at Beyoncé-linked functions. Even worse, people say Jay Z worked to block Nicki from expanding her brand into business deals that Beyoncé wanted for herself. And now, here's where it gets heartbreaking. A growing number of fans are rallying to reopen the investigation into Aaliyah's tragic death, demanding justice she rightfully deserves. Jaguar Wright just dropped a bombshell take on Aaliyah's tragic death, and it's shaking up everything. Wright suggests that back when Aaliyah passed away, Beyoncé's solo career was struggling to take off. She claims Beyoncé needed a major moment to finally break through and snatch the spotlight. And according to Wright, Aaliyah's untimely death gave Beyoncé that exact opportunity, pushing her straight into superstardom as the queen in everyone's hearts. Now that Aaliyah's legacy is starting to fade from public memory, people are asking some tough questions about the morality of those who might have indirectly benefited from her passing. Some voices are demanding overdue accountability, while fans are praising Wright for standing up and defending Aaliyah's memory, fighting for justice in her name. People keep asking, why were Beyoncé and Aaliyah, both queens coming up in R&B with rising acting careers, always painted as rivals chasing the same dream? As this theory goes, the Illuminati allegedly chose Beyoncé to carry on their legacy because Aaliyah was trying to break away from them. That's the angle that's got everyone's head spinning right now. Beyoncé's fans are spread all over the world, and she's standing tall at the top of the industry. But for some folks, there's always that whisper. Did her success come at the cost of Aaliyah's dreams? Aaliyah's unique style and smooth vibes still inspire female artists today, and many believe Beyoncé wanted to mirror her shine. In a recent interview, Damon Dash dropped shocking truths about Jay-Z's past with Aaliyah. Dash hinted that Jay's intentions towards Aaliyah were shady from the start. Even worse, he claimed Jay had a hand in linking Aaliyah to R. Kelly. The tension between Damon and Jay over R. Kelly goes back to a dark chapter with Aaliyah. The Lifetime doc, Surviving R. Kelly, brought it all back, exposing Kelly's alleged secret marriage to underage Aaliyah in 1994. That marriage was said to cover up rumors that Kelly had a sexual relationship with Aaliyah and allegedly got her pregnant.
You would have married her one day?
Yeah.
As you hear all this other stuff in the news with R. Kelly, how does that make you feel about him?
We talked about it.
It's sickening. Aaliyah tragically passed at just 22 years old in 2001 when her plane crashed leaving the Bahamas after filming Rock the Boat.
Story out of the Bahamas tonight. Authorities have confirmed that R&B singer and actress Aaliyah is among 8 people killed in a plane.
The crash killed her and 8 others, all because the plane was overloaded. And it gets darker. Kelly's former backup singer testified she saw Kelly, then 27, having sexual activity with 15-year-old Aaliyah on a tour bus. This bombshell reignited controversy and exposed twisted power plays inside Rockefeller between Dash and Jay. For years, people painted R. Kelly and Aaliyah's situation like some romantic love story, when it was actually a grown man preying on a child. Official records showed they married illegally in 1994 when she was just 15 and he was 27. It was quickly annulled, with both denying it ever happened. Even back then, it should have been clear as day that a kid under a grown man's control was in danger. The blame was on him, period. But then another twist came out. People said Jay Z himself had a relationship with Aaliyah too. And here's a name you probably never heard: Ali Carter. Conspiracy heads say she was a rising star who got too close to dark industry secrets.
Was he bitter?
Obviously. Yeah, he felt the way.
Some claim she was silenced before she could expose powerful entertainment players. They say she refused to play by the industry's rules and maybe even challenged the Carter empire.
Everybody was getting at Aaliyah, bro.
Right.
She was like, she'll go to dinner with a nigga who wasn't going to just be smashing.
Her career got nuked before it even took off. Whether she was a threat, pawn, or warning to others, her sudden disappearance is shady. Da Brat was known for always speaking her mind, and in Jay Z's world, that's dangerous. Insiders say her refusal to fall in line with certain hip-hop alliances cost her everything. She allegedly sided with people Jay saw as enemies. And after that, doors slammed shut fast. Label delays, lost endorsements, and the media freezing her out. There's a reason you barely hear from Da Brat anymore. Some say Jay's long memory and reach played a role. Then there's Saigon. He came in with fire, raw lyrics, and real street credibility. But he vanished as quick as he rose. He's spoken about being blackballed, but never fully named names. Industry whispers pointed fingers at Jay Z's inner circle. They say Saigon's outspoken politics and refusal to sell out made him a target. His beef with certain labels all tied back to Roc Nation connections, and that might have led to him getting erased from the scene. Another case of step out of line, get wiped out. When it comes to Jay Z and Beyoncé, the spotlight shines bright, but their shadow looms even darker. From old friends to rising stars, more and more people are claiming they were sacrificed or silenced to keep the Carter empire safe. And now, with voices like Joe Rogan and Katt Williams daring to speak up, Hollywood's dirtiest laundry is finally getting aired out. If you thought this tea was wild, just wait for what's coming next. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on the next explosive drop. See you in the next one.